But I'm going to show you few very significant table from a documentary, very long one with many, many tables, which clearly shows that the Bible code, the Torah code, are very, very significant and no doubt part of the discoveries before the time of Messiah. It's very famous, the book of the pupil of the Vilna Gaon says, the turtle-dove voice. So, what you have here, let us see, this is basically the explanation of it, is by Mrs. Sulman. So this is what she explained, what we see here. In the center of this table, there is a verse of Rabbi Isaac Luria, Zari. קץ הימים למעלה, the end of days above, with the smallest skip in the Torah of the dates that it was known to the world, which is 8 Tavshin Lamedvav, 5736. It is also shown in the table with the letter skip of the word code, or code, the letter of the code. The Zohar in the beginning of the portion of Miketz says there's a word Miketz Shnatayim Yamim Kezen, alludes to the word of the book of Job, Kes Sam Lachoshech, and time to darkness. So this is basically the idea of the code, which is end to darkness. In fact, the documentary will have this date. This is another interesting table, Minimum the Torah, good meetings based on the finding of their own wisdom with some of my additions to this table. So let us see what Mrs. Sulman wrote about this. In the center of this table appears a verse, יראו בבירור צופן חבוי בתורה, which means clearly they will see clearly the hidden code in the Torah. Basically, this is really the verse in the prophet Zephaniah about the end of days. Next to it, it is the date when the Torah codes were published, which was 5736, 1976. Next to that date is the date when the Torah codes were distributed by the documentary, by Inlight, which also was 5776. This again, the basis of this table, in my Torah, יראו בבירור, as we saw the very clearly, hidden code, in my Torah. Then we saw interesting date that comes out exactly the date when the research was done and distributed, which is 5736, 1976. All of it, by the way, appears in one book, Genesis, in 2 chapters, basically, 1441. So again, very interesting. Table clearly shows that the prophecy of Zephaniah, chapter 3, that in the end of days things will come, clear in the Torah, comes out. This table, lot of words, but appears in the book Deuteronomy against some millennia, and also in one chapter. So many words, cannot be coincidence. And what you have here, not simple at all the description of the Holocaust, and unfortunately everything which happened. In the center you have the Holocaust. But the most interesting is that you have here, once in the Torah sentence, the way of the code. It means written here that this song that we really read last week tells us that the song of Haazinu will really show us that everything that God said that will be really happened. This is basically what the code shows. The Holocaust in the center and so on. So you can see really clearly all the prophecies about the, unfortunately, the Holocaust. The people will thereupon go astray, and very harsh word. This poem may be my witness or evidence. Exactly, this is what the code shows. The code shows, this is code, this is Bible code, this here shows that everything that God says that it happened, unfortunately, when you say the Torah, happens. And here is the Holocaust, which come in letter skip of 50 gates of impurity. Also, very, very frightening verse about terrible troubles which will befall Jews. Yeah, and this what happened in Germany is the Holocaust because they went astray from the word of the Torah. So, all that what you saw now are parts of the very long documentary about many, many tables which clearly show the greatness of the Bible code. So let us finish with a table for the memory of Professor Reeves. Very, very significant table. You have here the end of this we see just now, and son of Joseph and Reeves. Very significant table. So let us see what description of this table by Mrs. Stulman. So in the center of this table appears the sentence Kesla Chosher, end to darkness. Yeah, you see in black Kesla Chosher, minimum the top is a letter Vav, by the way. And the darkness, next to the word Kodim, Kods, which is next to the name son of Joseph, to whom the Torah codes, Bible code are related, and the name Reeves, who started the research on the codes, appears. So very, very significant table. You can see here son of Joseph in red coats, and into darkness, Messiah. Unbelievable, and Reeves in red. So what you saw was really part of long, very long documents that are going to bring out in Hashem. Yeah. And then you will see that the phenomena of the code is a clear sign that we are approaching the time of Messiah.